Hello, hello, X's and Stevos. We're on a roll here. It is September 2nd, and we are discussing maybe the best game of the schedule, certainly, but maybe the best game of the season. As a Chiefs fan, I have the utmost respect for a lot of teams in the AFC, and take it from someone who was in, quote unquote, on the San Francisco 49ers. Coach X can attest to this. I was a Niners fan long before their run, and still kind of am. ROB style, he was in on certain trends before they got popular too. Got to give him those props. Not something to talk about 12:29 on a Tuesday, but we'll discuss that later. But the two teams that I have maybe the most respect for, and it's here probably with Cincinnati and Philadelphia, would be Baltimore and Buffalo. So a rematch of the playoff game last year. Obviously, the playoff game was a tale of two halves. It kind of felt like, and again, I'm not anti-Bills or anti-Ravens. It felt like, the Bills took advantage of some mistakes. It took some mistakes for the Ravens to kind of open that door, and then they settled down. And when you think about a game, the best team doesn't always win the game. It is certainly circumstantial. And I think for the Ravens to be a drop away from, extending the game, having all the momentum, despite the mistakes that were made earlier in the game. Sometimes that tells you the story. These football teams played two games last year, so they played 8 quarters of football. In those 8 quarters of football, Baltimore scored more 5 times. Of those 8 quarters of football, the score for that specific quarter was a tie 3 times. Um, I think my math's off, but oh, I'm sorry, it was four. Baltimore outscored Buffalo 4 quarters. It was a tie 3 quarters. Buffalo outscored Baltimore. It's the Bees that are throwing me off.
Keys, baby.
The Ravens outscored the Bills in 4 quarters. The teams were tied in 3 of the quarters, and in only 1 quarter did the Buffalo Bills outscore the Baltimore Ravens. I touched on the playoff game, Coach X, ROB style. We can talk about the regular season game with a different kind of knowledge, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. When I look at these two teams, to me, I feel like Bills, on the other hand, is a little bit more motivated. I always hear about how they're too small and they play a different style of defense. And I think losing Diggs kind of created a hunger on the offense where, hey, we can be just as good without them. So I think that created a lot of internal motivation for that. And during the regular season, that didn't mean a dang thing because they got steamrolled hot and heavy and pretty early. Derrick Henry leading the way. It was a very good game. What I expect from the Baltimore Ravens, um, outgained them, outscored them. It wasn't really a competition, and that's what I would expect from the Baltimore Ravens when the Ravens take care of business. Mistake-free football. The Ravens look unstoppable. When the Ravens shoot themselves in the foot, that's when you know, you get games where the Bills win in the playoffs while being out total offense 416 to 273. You got a situation where Lamar is 18 to 25, 2 touchdowns, a couple of turnovers, one bad snap, and other was a pick very early in the game. But with that, when Baltimore plays mistake free, I don't think there's many teams that can stop them, and I don't see it from the Bills. Like they haven't shown me anything. Josh Allen with an amazing 16 of 22 for 127 yards. If not for this win that they had in the playoffs, because at the end of the day, when you win, you win. You can say whatever you want. Like you can feel whatever type of way you want, but when you win, you win. But he looked like we said earlier, aggressively average in the playoff game, but they won. They got the two scoring touchdowns. He rushed for two. Nothing overall impressive, but they won the game, and that's the most important thing. So I think with this one, Ravens put it together. I think it's going to be a totally different show from the last meeting.
So I think Coach X, my favorite thing about RB style, folks, is just his ability to, obviously a Ravens fan, a Lamar guy, but to just look at players like Herbert, Allen, Burrow, and just see the talent of these other aliens of the position. As I'll say that phrase a few more times when we do our quarterback video. Coach X, you're always real good about given the flowers for sure. So props to you for that, man.
Try with all my.
That is funny. So I butchered my fun stat of the Ravens outscoring or tying the Bills in what, 7 of the 8 quarters of football they played. You shared the stat update. I mean, it's pretty clear that from a just line it up and play standpoint, that I do think it's clear the Ravens are better than the Bills. It's interesting as a Chiefs fan because I feel like we've beaten the Bills a couple times where I don't think we've always been the better team than the Bills, considering who's on the field health wise. And so it's interesting to see the Ravens are in that same boat. Maybe flip the dynamic a little bit. I see this game being close because I, as a Mahomes guy, do hold these two quarterbacks in the highest of regards. There is a clear number one tier of quarterbacks, and we'll talk about that in a different video. But Allen and Jackson are rubbing shoulders with Mahomes for sure. So this is an exciting matchup for a Chiefs fan whose team will play Friday, hopefully win, and get to get back and watch this one. I think I agree with you. I have a tough time going against Baltimore if they cut out those mistakes. Um, I do think Baltimore is one of those teams that they're just better than everybody else, and so I feel personally like this is going to end up close because I do give Allen that credit, the props for the ability to score and make things happen when they're not there. From a talent standpoint, I mean, the Ravens defense, if there's a defense that can maybe slow Josh Allen down, I think it exists in Baltimore. I love the defensive end from Marshall that y'all got. Is it Green, I think? That's just a pass rush machine added to a group that already had my man Owe and among so many others. So I think that'll be the difference at the end. I think Lamar's motivated. I know likely isn't playing, but he'll have Andrews, and I would expect a steady dose to Andrews, especially as the way the season ended for Andrews. Correct me if I'm wrong. He had that fumble, he had the drop. Like he had a rough game, and we're all human. We're allowed to have rough games. I bet they make a point to go to him early to get him going, and then that'll open up the thing like Zay Flowers and Bateman on the outside. And then we haven't even talked about the ability of the Ravens to lean on you with maybe the best running back in the league, Derrick Henry. So I agree. I put the numbers at 27-23. I have a lot of two score predictions in the next video that we'll do, but gotta give due credit to Buffalo Bills. I think they're a good program. I think they'll try to answer the bell here, but I think it's a style mismatch. I don't think the Bills are as physical as people think they are. I think the Ravens are every bit as physical as people think they are, and I think that'll be the difference. RB style. I'm with you. Go Ravens, 27-23, getting flocked up.
Yeah, I agree with almost everything you said except for the score. I personally don't think this will be very close. I think it'll be a 10 plus type of game. I see the Ravens coming out 31-21, and that will be the final score. I think it'll be a 10 plus game, and I don't think they'll have I don't think it'll be much of a chance. I think we come out, it's a statement. We're playing a little bit more of that motivation to show like, hey, who's who. And I think we make a statement to the NFL pretty early on.
See that too. I see that too, Coach X. All right. See, I'm trying to be, I'm gonna run in both y'all throughout the season, probably more than once. So gotta keep it political. 27-23. I feel like if a Bills fan's watching this, they're like, all right, cool. If they're watching this, they know firmly where Coach X stands on the side of Ravens Bills for sure. Appreciate y'all joining us. We'll do a few more of these, and we appreciate you. And stay tuned as we go throughout the season.